There is a moon in our solar system that scientists ignored for decades. Not because it was unimportant, but because everything around it was louder, more dramatic, more obvious. And while the world looked away, this moon just sat there, silent, unchanged, waiting. Because sometimes the universe hides its secrets in the most boring places. This is Callisto, and it might be the most important world we never paid attention to. Not because it's special, but because it's safe. And in a solar system full of chaos, safe might be the rarest thing of all.
For years, when scientists talked about life beyond Earth, their attention kept going to one place: a frozen moon covered in ice with something hidden beneath it. A vast ocean locked under a thick crust. That moon was Europa. Europa became the star, the focus, the most promising place to search for life. It had everything: liquid water, energy from tidal forces, chemical activity. On paper, it was perfect. But there was a problem, a big one. Europa doesn't just orbit a planet, it orbits a giant, Jupiter. And Jupiter is not calm. It is surrounded by one of the most intense radiation fields in the entire solar system. Radiation so powerful that it can destroy complex molecules, break apart DNA, damage cells. And anything on the surface of Europa would be exposed to it, constantly, relentlessly. Which means, even if life exists there, it would have to survive in one of the most hostile environments imaginable. Now compare that to something much quieter, a moon that sits farther away from the worst of that radiation, a place where conditions are stable, predictable. That moon is Callisto. Unlike Europa, Callisto is ancient. Its surface has barely changed for billions of years. No massive cracks, no violent resurfacing, no chaos. At first glance, that made it boring, uninteresting, not worth studying. But now, that stability is exactly what makes it different. Because while Europa is constantly being bombarded, Callisto sits on the edge, far enough from Jupiter to avoid the worst of its radiation. A quieter environment, a safer environment. And here's where things get interesting. Some data suggests Callisto may also hide something beneath its surface, a subsurface ocean. Not as active, not as dramatic, but possibly more stable. And when it comes to life, stability might matter more than activity. Because life doesn't just need energy, it needs time. Time to form, time to survive, time to evolve. And in a place where everything is violent, unstable, and constantly changing, time is the one thing you don't get. Which raises a question no one was asking before. Have we been looking at the wrong moon this whole time? The answer might change everything.
And that possibility changes everything. Because for a long time, we've been searching for life in places that look alive. Worlds filled with motion, energy, violence. Places like Europa, where something is always happening, where ice cracks open, oceans churn beneath the surface, and energy flows constantly. On paper, it makes sense. Life needs energy. It needs movement. It needs chemistry. But what if that's only part of the story? What if life doesn't begin in the most active environments, but in the most stable ones? Because life is fragile. It doesn't survive chaos easily. It doesn't thrive in constant destruction. It needs something else. Time. Time to breathe. Time to adapt. Time to become. And time only exists where nothing is constantly trying to erase you. Think about that for a moment. Every violent world we've ever studied resets itself. Volcanic eruptions, tectonic shifts, radiation bombardment. Every time something complex begins to form, the environment destroys it, starts the clock over. But on Callisto, the clock never stopped. Its surface has remained almost unchanged for billions of years. No global resurfacing, no massive tectonic shifts, no violent transformations. Just a quiet world, preserving its history, layer by layer, scar by scar. And beneath that silent surface, there may be something more, something we can't see directly. In the late 1990s, NASA's Galileo spacecraft flew past Callisto multiple times, and it detected something unexpected, a magnetic signal. Subtle, quiet, easy to miss, but consistent with something hidden deep beneath the surface. A subsurface ocean, buried under thick layers of ice and rock, far from Jupiter's crushing radiation, far from the chaos above. Not as dynamic as Europa's ocean, not as energetic, but possibly far more stable. And that stability might be exactly what life needs. Because in an environment like that, chemical reactions can continue undisturbed for millions, even billions of years. No reset, no destruction, no interruption. Just slow, patient, relentless chemistry. Enough time for something simple to become something more complex. Enough time for molecules to find each other, to organize, to replicate, to evolve. But here's the uncomfortable truth. We don't know for sure. No lander has ever touched Callisto's surface. No mission has drilled beneath it. No probe has analyzed what lies below. Callisto has remained almost completely unexplored. Not because it had nothing to offer, but because it didn't demand attention. It didn't erupt. It didn't crack open. It didn't glow. It just existed, quietly, patiently, while every other world around it screamed for our attention. And maybe that's the real mystery here. Not what's hiding inside Callisto, but why we looked past it so long. Because in a solar system filled with extremes, we've trained ourselves to chase the extraordinary, the loud, the violent, the obvious. We build our telescopes to find the brightest objects. We sent our missions to the most dramatic worlds. We wrote our theories around the places that looked the most alive. But life doesn't always look alive. Not at first. The first living things on Earth didn't announce themselves. There were no signals, no signs, no drama, just microscopic chemistry quietly happening in warm, dark, undisturbed places for hundreds of millions of years before anything changed. Callisto doesn't look like a world that should matter. It has no towering plumes, no glowing fractures, no dramatic signs of activity. Just a surface, covered in ancient scars, impact after impact, frozen in time. Each crater a reminder of something that hit it and didn't change it. And yet, those scars tell a different story. A story of survival, of a world that has endured, unchanged for longer than almost anything else we know. A world that didn't fight the chaos around it, but simply remained outside of it. It absorbed the hits. It kept its secrets. It waited. And maybe that's exactly what makes it special. Not because it's active, not because it's extreme, but because it's consistent. Because in a universe where everything is constantly changing, constantly destroying, constantly beginning again, finding a place that isn't might be the most important discovery we haven't made yet. So the next time we search for life, the next time we point our instruments into the darkness,
maybe we shouldn't just ask, where is something happening? Maybe we should ask something harder, something quieter. Where has something had the time to begin?